It's that time again. Get up, get off the couch, and tackle your own to-do list. On today's episode, we have a beautiful installation of an overhead garage door, and we're going to kick it off with Bob's favorite app, the Just Ask Bob Garage Door Opener app. Load the truck, ladders, tools, all materials. And don't forget the coffee maker. Let's go. Love home reno? Don't change the channel. This is the Just Ask Bob show, where we teach you to repair, rebuild, remodel your own home. This show has two goals in mind always. Number one, to motivate you to get up, get off the couch, and tackle your own to-do list. Number two, if for whatever reason, maybe the ladder's not long enough, you don't want to tackle your own home repairs and renovations, that's fine. We will demystify the process, the hiring process, which will enable you to find what we like to call the right contractor for you and your home. Speaking of contractors, unlike reality television, today's contractor is actually licensed. Not one, but two. Master building repair and the contractor portion. Now, why is this important? I can honestly go on for hours and hours. Scan the QR code on your screen. That will lead you to our database where there are many, many, many interviews in the news, interviews in the media that will educate you on the hiring process of finding the right contractor for you and your home. This program is interactive. It's always has been and always will be a two-way street. You send us your emails, visit our website, fill in our contact form. We will do our very best to respond, and some of our responses may actually be featured on this very program. Today we have an email that kicks off today's program. Bob, how easy is it to install an overhead garage door? My husband is thinking of installing one himself. Christine, thank you so much for the email. We get a lot of questions regarding overhead garage doors. And I'm glad they noted it as an overhead. Because again, your garage can have more than one door. It can have a couple. You can have two singles. You can have a large 16-foot door. And you can also have what we call a man door. That's usually at the side. Now, the overhead garage doors, honestly, it is not DIY. I will not promote it as do-it-yourself, even though this is a DIY program. Reason being the spring. The spring is under intense pressure. The spring can knock your head off your shoulders, so to speak. You have to be careful. I want this going out to somebody that's a professional installer. We have one on our program. We'll be visiting one of his job sites. But again, he's trained in it. Years and years and years of training. How to tighten those springs and how to make sure everything is installed safely. That is so important. I can't stress that enough. Now, feel free, visit us on social media. There are many ways to get a hold of us. We also have a newsletter, which proudly has been picked up in the Bay Observer. Visit our website, subscribe to our newsletter, and there is lots and lots to learn. Stay tuned. Up next, we're going to be visiting one of our installer, Frank Castillos from the Garage Doorman, visiting him on one of his job sites. Frank Castillo, my good friend from the Garage Doorman. You've been on our episodes before. We've had you on a few times on different seasons. Frank, what I tell everybody about you is, what I love about you is you can chat. You got the gift of gab.
Well, yeah,
you know how
Bob.
to demystify, you know how to explain, and you educate your consumers similar to what I do. So you want them to understand what you're doing at their home.
It's a great day to be here, Bob. You know, we're in beautiful Ancaster. We're at a new home build site. Okay, these just shout out to Priva Homes. Thank you so much for letting us film on site, and we're putting up 2 nice insulated doors today in this beautiful new up-and-coming Ancaster neighborhood. Nice black flush doors, R16 foam injected, and you know, we've been at it for 17 years now, Bob.
Wow, 17 years.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
You've stood the test of time. You see, that's what I tell contractors come and they go.
Thank you.
Obviously, I've been at it for 22 years, and I mean, you know, it's unfortunate, whether it's the economy or whatever reason they come and go, it's a testament to you. You're doing something right at 17 years.
I appreciate that, Bob. You know, we believe in taking care of everybody's home as if it's our own.
That's the key.
We got great technicians. We've been very blessed to have good people, because as you know, Bob, without good people, your business cannot run well.
And it can't grow.
So we pride ourselves in the training, the time that we take to train these guys to make sure to say, hey, what would you do at your home? This is where we start. That's the foundation.
Yes, yes.
And then from there, work out the technicalities of how to make a door nice and level, make it run right, make sure it seals up nice, and make sure it lasts for a long time for the homeowner.
Now, obviously, not only full installations, but you also do repairs.
Oh gosh, yes.
Tell the viewers, tell the homeowners at home watching now, what some signs are that your door needs a repair or it needs maintenance.
Well, just about every day, Bob, we get a call that a door's only going up just a little bit, and that's usually a sign of a broken spring.
Okay.
And springs themselves last 10,000 cycles, so 10,000 times opening your door.
Up and down,
I'll
up
save
and
you
down,
the
up and
math.
down.
That adds up to about 7 to 8 years.
Wow.
Of opening and closing. However, usually the springs last 10 to 12 years.
Okay.
Right? And
So we've got you covered on repairs, we've got you covered on new installations.
Yeah.
What about openers, especially these fancy ones? You tell the viewers about these new openers that don't take up that much space.
You know, there's a couple developments with the garage door openers. Number one, they have the side mounts now, and they have had them for a while. But even the ceiling mounted units have come a long way.
Oh, they have.
As you can see, we're putting the door on, right? But now they have cameras on them, Bob. Right?
A lot of technology.
The whole idea is the Amazon people are going to have access, if you want that, and they can drop off the package right in your garage. That's coming
Nice
to
and
Canada.
safe
It's
in the
already
garage.
implemented in the
Wow.
U.S.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about technology. Talk about these features.
Well, the most important thing you want out of your garage door opener is, number one, obviously reliability.
Yes.
We also recommend battery backups at times with power outages.
Okay.
However, it's easy to manually release, right? So we also recommend, that's how you can check your garage door. You manually release it in case of a power outage, okay? And you test if it's light enough, it's supposed to be light, so that even your grandma could get out if she's in trouble and there's a power outage or a fire or something like that. These are important things to consider.
Excellent.
The garage door is basically the biggest thing on the front of your house and can be an important exit point for in case of emergency.
In case of an emergency.
Yes.
Now, for the viewers at home, geographically, neighborhood, cities, community, how far will you travel?
Oh,
Unlike Bob that doesn't want to drive, I'd rather stay at work each and every day. How far will you drive to visit the homeowners?
We love our customers in Caledonia. We love our customers in the Haldeman region, in the Dunnville area, in Binbrook, in Hamilton. We're big in Niagara as well. We service all the way to Burlington and Milton. We go where we want to, where people need us, and you know what? We love making people happy and providing a good service.
Well, I can attest to that. You've done work for us in the past. You make Bob happy. You make everyone happy.
I appreciate that.
Thank you again. This means so much to me.
Thanks, Bob.
We'll continue with the installation today.
All right. What our technicians are doing right now, Bob, is it's important to install the bottom brackets. This is where all the tension is held, right here.
Okay.
So what happens a lot of times in repairs for garage doors is the cables break off right here because of the rust, right?
At the bottom.
So you'll see we're going to lift up the tracks a little bit. That's why we have a piece of cardboard here, so that the rust doesn't touch the track and start spreading to where the cable is over here.
A separation between the moisture and the steel.
Yeah, so if you're going to examine your door, you want to examine those loops for rust.
Okay.
right?
Excellent.
What you want also is you want nylon bearings.
Nylon bearings.
So these are nylon. Otherwise, you're going to get steel on steel. It's very noisy.
You can hear that. You can hear that.
You can see the bearings in them. So
Okay.
that's what you want for your garage door.
Great tips, though. You want to avoid concrete contacting metal.
Yeah, what we
That's
got
important.
here is foam insulation as well. Now,
Nice.
this is R16, made for our Canadian winters,
Very nice.
and that's what you want.
Excellent. I see they're putting the panels up.
Yeah, this is Thomas. Thomas is one of our senior techs. He's a door ninja, we like to say. And we're just initially laying the new track system for the door. Gotta make sure everything's level, and so that we can throw those sections on.
Excellent. Level's really important for the track work. Very important.
You know, we have a small clearance that we could do, but it's important that everything stays straight in order for the door to go up and down. That's when you get into problems with bottom seals. Sometimes the concrete is a little bit off.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
you got to make up for it. We're going to start setting the cables and winding the spring. And this is the key component in making your garage door run properly.
Frank, let's talk about safety. Let's make sure every homeowner knows. Do not touch what part. There's a part that can hurt you.
So what you got here is the torsion spring assembly, right? The drums are what holds the cables.
Okay.
Now most people think, oh yeah, the trick is winding the spring. Winding the spring is very dangerous, and do not touch it if you don't know what you're doing. In fact, do not touch it at all. It's not worth the money. All right? Yeah. And what's important here is you got to be able to know how to set the cables. If the cables aren't set right, the door goes up crooked and will not go up straight. So that's
potentially
really the key.
very dangerous.
Yes.
A homeowner tampering with the spring themselves.
These springs have a force of the weight of the door. So
Okay.
way they work is they want to wind up, and then the force of it wanting to unwind is equal to the weight of the door, and thus making it completely balanced. So you got to have the right spring for the right weighted door. All right. Now, as you can see, the boys already got the door going up. And now that this spring is wound, basically we're going to set the back tracks and hang them properly straight with a punched angle.
Nice.
We're going to show you what a balanced door is supposed to look like, what it's supposed to feel like, so that you yourself at home can test, hey, do I need adjustment, or should I be worried, or does it work well? But right now we're just taking measurements to put the weather seal on to ensure that it is completely gap-free and it's completely sealed.
A nice tight seal.
A nice tight seal. So Bob, what we got here is, this is what I like telling people, is there's a difference. You know, an insulated door will only do as good a job as you seal off the draft. If you don't seal off the draft, how's your insulated door going to do its job? And what we got here is an example of the better kind of weather seal. There's a cap for it. That way you can mount it on the frame, and it has double rubber to go on, so you end up with a nice seamless look, right? And it's quite thick, and this is kind of what you want for your perimeter of the seal. Now, a lot of homeowners, really, we're not going to do that in this case because we haven't been called to do it. There's somebody else. But a lot of times you want to cover this up with aluminum.
Yes.
Okay?
100%
seal it
agree.
up. So that'll prevent any rotting.
Regardless
or
how many
moisture
times
to
you
get
paint
in.
it, you've got to scrape, it peels, you got to redo it. Aluminum's for good.
Then you're in a paint-free zone, which is what we want. Paint-free and maintenance-free.
Maintenance-free. Maintenance-free capping.
There's less and less time on our schedules every day, right? So the less the maintenance, the better. Also on the bottom seal, we have a nice thick 4-inch seal that also kind of takes care of, number one, concrete variations, and number two, any gappage that might come in, because you know, you get a lot of winter wind and winter storms, and you want all that out of your garage, you know? So that's important. I always like to educate my customers on, you know, better to use the quality stuff that's really not much more, it's really negligible, than to go with the cheaper, thin
Quality is so important, so important.
Absolutely.
Now, Frank, as far as quality, I want to make sure the viewers at home understand. We're on a new home construction site, so we don't have any glass here. This is very plain. A couple of years ago, we did a beauty of an episode. When you were our guest, we're honored to have you. That was a gorgeous store on one of our job sites. That was an Amar door.
Yes, that's right.
Let's talk about that door a little bit, because I want the viewers to get the picture of that.
Even around the corner, and
that door was stunning.
And we'll get some shots. You know, glass is very popular,
Yes.
and that's come a long way now too. Now they have glass panels that are solid glass all the way throughout. They look fantastic.
With that Amar door, how many panels was it? Because the top was large with the glass.
Yeah, that was a larger glass door, but now with the modern, a lot of people are going with the glass doors that you find even at restaurants. We do a dark tinted glass, and there's also the modern looking one that has, it's all glass all throughout.
I've seen those.
And these look fantastic. So basically the modern look is popular, but even if you're not going and don't have the modern look, the glass on top adds a lot of natural light and a lot of good look. In this case, they didn't choose to go with the glass, but that's okay. We do a lot of the custom doors and custom glass doors. They look fantastic.
Well, that door had the 3 panels, so the top, the glass was at a nice low level. So you don't have to stand up high to see out of it. It lets a lot of light into the garage.
Yeah, it depends these days, Bob, what the homeowner wants. You know, a lot of people are like it a little higher as well now because security concerns and whatnot, right? So what we offer also, you want the glass to be thermal and nice and thick, right? So even if there's a security concern, you want to make it as hard as possible. And a lot of times there's frosted glass, so that you let the natural light in, right? But you can't exactly see what's going on. And a lot of people like that privacy option to still have the natural light come in.
So you have many suppliers and vendors, manufacturers. So everything from plain to high end, you can supply a variety of installation options.
We're blessed to be teamed up with great suppliers.
Excellent.
Okay, Canadian suppliers, Canadian made.
Excellent.
That's what we want to support. Right, and in that there's variations of what glass you want. You can have tinted, you can have frosted, you can have clear, you can have all kinds of designs out there. It's come a long way.
How do you know for certain when it's time for a brand new garage door?
Well, there's a couple of things to look for, Bob. Number one, you got the old wood doors. They have no insulation value.
Nothing.
They start to split apart.
So those are one piece.
Well, you got the one piece, but we're talking just wood doors. They catch all the condensation, insulation, and rot the wood. And then you have the older style doors. These used to be kind of popular in the 70s and 80s.
Yes.
And they were actually one piece of steel, one slab of steel that swing out
or
4
wood.
feet. No, not too much wood. That's not, now you're talking more of the 30s.
Oh, wow,
right?
wow,
Because you still have sectional wood doors, and they experience rot. But the ones that they used to do before the sectional had one piece of steel. They swung out 4 feet, tons of gap on the side.
You can't even park your automobile right up to it.
You can't park your automobile up to it. You have to make sure the snow is shoveled before you even open it.
Oh, wow, wow.
So
well,
that's
those of you at home, if you have one of those doors, time to call Frank.
That's it. That's time to get an upgrade and time to get a brand new insulated door, you know, that'll stand up to the Canadian winter.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times these days, Bob, people, you know, with the short amount of living space, a lot of people like to hang out in their garage. They may not even necessarily park in them. We see a lot of that. We see a lot of man cave
lots of conversions, man cave conversions.
A lot of man caves in the garage doors, right?
We use space differently these days.
Yes, you know, take it for the most part. I see the wife has the car, so she doesn't have to clean off the snow, and then the other side is the couches and the TV to watch the hockey game.
And the second refrigerator or freezer.
That's right. So you see that a lot. And for that, you're going to want an insulated door.
That's
you're going to want it
important.
sealed up. You put a little heater in there, it's warm in 5 minutes.
And for noise, for street noise, you're also keeping the decibels down. You're keeping the noise from transferring inside the garage.
Yeah, and now we're coming back also to the garage door openers that are now so much more quiet.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They're nice and quiet so that you're not either bothering your neighbors with the door.
With the design now on new home construction for some time now, there's bedrooms and living space above the garage.
Oh,
so you don't want the sound transferring through.
Absolutely. Not only that, people that carry or have bad garage doors can feel the cold on their upstairs living space.
Yes, it'll transfer.
So that's something that's very common that we see change once we install insulated garage doors.
Excellent, excellent. Always a fountain of information, fountain of knowledge.
It's the biggest thing on the front of the house, right?
Well, with these designs now, with the double doors, and some smaller homes, you've got a little porch, and then you've got 18 feet of the double garage door.
That's right.
That's
right.
a lot of viewing space from the road.
And these are mechanical items still, right? You gotta make sure they get maintained. These doors on their own, these are 2 single doors, but the double doors, they can weigh up to 300 pounds. So God forbid that should fall on its own. You never want that. So you always want to do your preventative maintenance. Check if the cables aren't rusty, if the spring isn't rusty, if it's moving up and down well manually, so you don't have to worry about if an emergency comes. You'll find safety tip videos that we have on our website, and how to update your garage door, or as well how to do minimal checks.
These are educational videos right on your website.
Yes.
Great. Your website will be on screen for the viewers.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
We welcome that. And any questions, we're always happy to help. We're always available on the phone 24/7, it seems.
Good.
We got a brand new door, Bob.
Awesome.
So I want to show you how you can tell if this door is balanced, okay? So what you want, obviously, as soon as it goes up, you want it to go up nice and lightly, not shoot up. You don't want it to fall down
or
heavy
take off.
Right? And what you're going to check is you're going to check the third of the way to make sure it stays on. That means it's holding its weight.
Okay.
Halfway, holding its weight, and that it's all the way up.
So this is all determined by the settings, the tension
of the spring. This is how you want a balanced door. So if you're a homeowner and you want to check it, there's a red rope release on your garage door opener. You pull that red rope release down, and then you lift the door, and you want to look for it to stay at those points, the third, the halfway, and the 3/4 mark.
And if it doesn't?
And if it doesn't, you need an adjustment by a professional.
They'll call you.
And this
Your
is where
information should be on the screen.
This is where preventative maintenance comes, right?
Excellent, excellent.
And you got a perfectly running door. We need a little cleanup on it, clean up our handprints. After that,
absolutely beautiful installation, my friend.
Thank you so much,
Really
Bob.
appreciate it.
I want to thank my friends at Priva Homes for making this happen. Small builder, quality builds. And this was a great time, Bob, to share.
I had a blast.
To share what we do and to share our passion is really our pleasure. Thank you for honoring us.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Stay tuned. Up next, we're back at the shop for top picks and bewares. For everything home rental, follow us on social media. Welcome back to our shop for a very important segment, Bob's Top Picks and Bob's Bewares. Now, we named them after Bob for a reason. This is about experience. My combined experience being licensed and being involved in the trades when I was an apprentice is well over 35 years. Let me share my experience, take my experience, learn from it. So number one, let's not be frugal when we shouldn't be. When you cut the crooked and overcharging contractor out of the equation, you save large. You save a lot of money. Take that money, reinvest it back into your home in the best and highest quality materials and tools that you can afford. Obviously, nice tools if you're doing the job yourself, DIY. If you're hiring out, make sure you're asking and demanding for the highest quality materials you can get. Quick example, if you're insulating anywhere in your home, never mind the pink stuff. That's a full Bob's Beware. Avoid the pink stuff. Use rock wool. Rock wool insulation is fire and flame resistant and the highest R value, the best product out of any bat style insulation that you can put in your home. So this is very important to remember. Now, as far as today's episode, for a top pick, very easy. Hands down, my good friend Frank Castillo of the garage doorman. That is the top pick. What is a beware? Cheap, crooked garage door installers and wannabe technicians, and our city and our community is full of them. So make sure you have to ask for references. You have to check. You have to insist on references. You know, once again, we'll put the QR code up on the screen. Follow that QR code to a university of knowledge. Episode after episode of televised interviews to talk about all the important stuff, the licensing, the insurance, what you need to know. Or keep it simple, Frank Castillo of the Garage Doorman. This website that we've constructed, justaskbob.com, I like to proudly refer to it as a home improvement university. We have hundreds of these DIY programs. We have new station interviews. We have not on one station, but two, the former Just Ask Bob radio show. We have Q&A, question and answer columns. It doesn't matter how you learn. Some learn best by reading, others by watching, and others by listening. www.justaskbob.com. Now, if you're old school, you want to just pick up the phone, no problem. 289-649-0196. Again, that's 289-649-0196. Call anytime. Thank you.